Hi, I'm Stan Lee, and I am so excited about the fact that I play myself in the Amazing Spider-Man game.
Do you know who I am? I really am hero material.
You know, I really think the fans will love it. They seem to enjoy my cameos in the movies, and this takes it a step further.
Here I come. This is great. Don't try this at home, kids.
Not only do I play me, but I've got just about all the powers that Spider-Man has. How cool is that?
Ain't nothing like swinging.
Just the idea that I was supposed to be Spider-Man and some of the lines I was saying.
Being a hero is second nature to me.
Wow, it boggles the mind.
Excelsior!
You know, I'm excited about the fact that my friend Bruce Campbell is also in the game.
You see this blimp? That's right, Spider-Man. This is my blimp.
People have asked me if I were to have a fight with Bruce Campbell in the game, who would win? And I think if I were playing the game, I would win. Of all the villains that I've done in the past, two of my favorites have always been Rhino and the Scorpion, and they're in the game. But more than that, they've been updated. And they're more powerful than they ever were. But don't worry too much. After all, he is the Amazing Spider-Man.
And that's the Amazing Stan Lee for you.
I'm Bruce Campbell, and I play the Extreme Reporter in the Amazing Spider-Man video game. You see this blimp? That's right, Spider-Man. This is my blimp.
You got that kid, or must I repeat myself?
Acting in front of a camera and acting in front of a microphone are very different things. You know what? I hate it! I hate floating peacefully above the earth. I'm bored! What I did before the session is I went out and I just jumped off a building. Because, you know, I'm a method actor. I don't know if you know that. And I felt it was just important to get ready for that, to get ready for the challenge. Could I do the same things that I'm asking Spider-Man to do? And the answer is no, I hurt myself quite badly. The Extreme Reporter is a former mixed martial artist, fighter. Not that successful, but he won because he trash talked a lot, so he got a lot of fame from that.
Want to be the king of the airwaves? Well, have I got a challenge for you?
Then he parlayed that into the type of guy who stages these big sporting events, so it's a perfect match. This big mouth versus Spider-Man.
You better believe it, there is a new race challenge.
Show me some magic. Do some tricks around it. Front, back, down, up. Show this blimp who's boss. Give it to me! He's the only one who can come up with the outrageous ideas. And Spider-Man is the only one who can do them.
Now, for your first mission, get that pretty spider butt to the marked antenna on that skyscraper.
The Extreme Reporter is very similar to me in that it's the intelligence and the wit that is the same.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
So we have a lot in common. We're very simple people who don't think that highly of ourselves, other than the fact that we're awesome.
Spectacular!
If I had the same powers that Spider-Man had, I would use them to get away from a film set much quicker back to my house. They'd say, and cut. I'd be home like one swing. About 4 swings later, I'd land right in the pool. I heard that Stan Lee is also a voice in this game.
Walking is overrated.
I mean, come on, how cool is that?
I just love the island.
He's the youngest man I've ever met in my entire life.
And that's the Amazing Stan Lee for you.
One of the great things about the Amazing Spider-Man game is just the sense of reality. When you dive off and fall, you feel like you're falling 100 stories off a skyscraper. And New York City is the perfect background, and the detail is just, it's awesome. It's really worth it. It's gonna make you feel like you're that character. You're gonna have a blast.
When we started thinking about the concept behind The Amazing Spider-Man and how we wanted to approach the game, it quickly became clear to us that we absolutely had to give Manhattan to Spider-Man.
This is the place that Spider-Man belongs.
Manhattan really is the ultimate playground for Spider-Man.
As a player, you have a lot of choice when you're in Manhattan. You can choose whether you want to go explore Manhattan and fight crime, whether you want to go do some challenges and test your acrobatic capabilities. It really gives you an experience where you choose not only where to go and how to do it, but you can web swing, see how fast you can go from one end to the other. There's lots of opportunities to swing between the buildings, go explore new regions and territories. We've created everything from parks to skyscrapers. You can go see the Oscorp building itself.
Swinging through the city is actually so much fun just by itself. We really wanted the player to feel like he is actually Spider-Man like never before. So when you're web swinging in a city, for example, instead of having a camera that is very far away from Spider-Man, you're much closer to him, almost in an over-the-shoulder approach, which makes you feel much closer to the action, much closer to Spidey. So imagine yourself running toward the ledge of the building and then diving toward the streets of Manhattan, and just at the last minute you shoot your web and web swing in the air, and with that camera very close to you, it provides you with an intense feeling.
The game is all about how you could feel if you would be Spider-Man. That sensation, you hear the wind while you are through the cars. That's something I wanted to nail in the game.
In the movies, you've seen Spider-Man perform some incredible moves that you've never been able to do in a Spider-Man game before. That's where the web rush comes in. When you're in Manhattan in the open world, you can press the web rush button and have a variety of navigational choices in front of you. And as soon as you pick one and release the button, Spider-Man will actually not simply go there, he will actually use his environment to go there in an incredible acrobatic fashion that you used to see only in the movies.
Suddenly you're going down the street, you're flipping off of telephone poles, you're jumping off of lights on street intersections, you're bouncing off of cars, running on the walls of buildings, and suddenly ending up on some rooftop posed in a traditional Spider-Man pose.
That button is the essence of being Spider-Man. Anytime in the game, you press that button and you have your options.
This is a system which lets you actually, on the fly, slow down time, simulating your spider sense as a superhero. I see a dumpster in the background. Can I web myself over to it, grab it, throw it into the air, and then smash it down on top of the group all at once?
You press that button and boom! Now you are in the shadow, they don't see you anymore, and you can wall crawl in a different position. Each move, each action, each hit that you're doing in the game will be in the same flavor as this new agile character from the movie.
Hi, my name's Brent Nicholas. I'm executive producer on Amazing Spider-Man the video game. Today I've got a chance to actually show you one of the coolest things I think, is we finally brought Spider-Man back to Manhattan. It's your playground like you've never seen it before. Navigation for the game has been totally revamped from the ground up. We've actually taken the camera and pulled it much closer to Spider-Man. As I'm swinging through the city, it actually gives you a much stronger sense of velocity and speed, but more than anything else, you get a sense of vertigo as you're leaping from the top of a skyscraper all the way down to the levels close to the street. One of the things that I actually get to use throughout the game, I've got this cool new Oscorp branded cell phone that I can use to give access to my missions, to show me what's going on in the city. The Osphone actually gives me the ability to tap into police frequencies and get word of all the crimes that are happening throughout Manhattan. We've actually got petty crimes that are happening throughout the city at all times, whether it's car chases, bank heists. It's constantly happening throughout the city, and it changes over the course of the game. One of the things I'm going to show you real quick is I'm going to jump in and help a civilian who's actually getting accosted by some thugs. So watch for a sec while I actually take these guys out. Combat's been totally reworked. It's much more agile and speedy, it's much more acrobatic. But one of the things that I like the most is as I beat these guys, I get experience and points that I can use to unlock new powers, new abilities, upgraded combos, upgraded moves. So I highly encourage you guys to try it all out and see how far you can get. So now that I've saved that civilian, I'm going to go ahead and web swing over to another nearby encounter where there's a police car chase that's about to take off in the city. On my way there, I'll show you guys how WebRush actually gives me the option to choose and select my destinations in the environment. One of the things you can see here is that this is WebRush when I'm using it for navigation purposes. And I actually get the option to look around the environment around me and pick what destinations I want. I can either pick one of the ones that's been highlighted by the game as a cool destination for Spidey, or I can actually define it myself and launch directly towards the center of my screen. One of the coolest things about it is it lets you interact with the environment like never before. You can run off walls, you can run up walls, you can bounce off of flagpoles and spin around them. You can go down a street, run along the length of a bus, leap up and catch a light pole and fly away from there.
Consider it done.
So now, as I'm overhead looking down at the area below, you'll see that in my WebRush choices, there's actually a green vehicle down there. If I choose that, then that means I'm going to kick off a police car chase in the nearby area. So now as the car chase gets underway, and I kind of get an idea for the environment that's taking place in, watch now as I use a combination of web swing and WebRush and web shot to take these thieves out of action. So now I've beaten that guy, I wanted to say thanks for watching. We're super excited about the game and can't wait to hear your feedback once you get your hands on it as well. The game's going to be on shelves June 26th in the US and available globally June 29th. So be sure to go and pre-order your game and get some exclusive content like play as Stan Lee or even play as Rhino and get to smash around Manhattan yourself.